The surprising assistance from my neighbor altered the course of events. What happened next will surprise you. Be sure to like the video, share your insights in the comments, and subscribe for more stories with our newest tales. I always keep that little introduction in mind before I start. It's a simple ritual, yet somehow it weaves my thoughts into a clearer tapestry. Yet today, I find myself at a loss for a beginning. There's a vast tapestry of experiences to explore, a multitude of narratives waiting to be shared, and the intensity of it all seems poised to overflow. Let me share with you an experience, one that took me by surprise, one that transformed everything. It may sound unbelievable, but I promise you it's the real deal. It began with a gentle rap at my door. For many years, even decades, I've called this quaint little neighborhood my home. In a charming little community where familiarity breeds warmth, you can always rely on a friendly face next door, ready for a pleasant conversation or to share a simple ingredient when needed. I tend to keep to myself, particularly when it comes to reaching out to those I'm not familiar with. Yet there are moments when life surprises you with unexpected twists. This time, the unexpected arrival was none other than my neighbor Ben. It's interesting how Ben, someone I never anticipated, has woven himself into the fabric of my life. He's a man of few words about my age, a reserved individual who tends to remain in his own world most of the time. For a few years now, he's been my neighbor, and although we've shared friendly nods and brief greetings as we cross paths, our conversations have never ventured beyond the surface. On that particular day, I found myself in a battle facing challenges that felt heavier than they had in ages. There I was navigating through some health challenges, not the usual tales you come across, but significant enough to leave me feeling delicate, prompting me to reevaluate everything I believed about who I was. As the years pass, life unfolds in unexpected ways. You believe you have everything under control, and then suddenly your body begins to reveal secrets you never anticipated. It had been a while since I ventured out. The weariness enveloped me, and the pains in my joints seemed to intensify with each passing day. As I sat by the window gazing out at the garden, a wave of nostalgia washed over me, and I found myself pondering whether I would ever reclaim the essence of who I once was. It was more than mere physical fatigue. The weight of it all was heavy on the mind. I was unaware of the extent to which I had been retreating, distancing myself from friends, family, and the world around me. That was the moment everything changed. A gentle rap echoed through the stillness, beckoning attention from within. As I settled into my tattered chair, my gaze wandering in and out of clarity, a sound broke through the haze. Surprise caught me off guard, leaving me momentarily unsure of how to proceed. Yet again, the knock echoed through the silence, this time with a force that demanded attention. I opened the door, and there stood Ben, a gentle smile gracing his face. His usual quietness momentarily lifted. With a bag in his hand, he gazed at me, his deep eyes piercing through the surface, as if they could unravel the very essence of my being. "Hey, Martha," he said, finally calling me by my name. "I had a little something in mind to share with you. I understand that things haven't been easy for you recently." I was caught off guard. It was unexpected, really. There he stood right in front of me, ready to lend a hand without a moment's pause. I was unaware of the depth of my longing for someone to see me, to show they cared. It struck me with more intensity than I anticipated. "What is this all about?" I inquired, attempting to maintain a nonchalant demeanor even as the tightness in my throat protested. Ben extended the bag, inviting curiosity and anticipation. "Here are a few insights to consider. I've been crafting a pot of soup for myself, but I thought you might enjoy a taste as well. It's a simple creation, just a pot of homemade chicken broth, a sprinkle of salt, and a medley of vegetables, each with its own tale to tell. I believed it could aid in the healing journey." In that moment, I was taken aback by the warmth of his gesture. Well, it was nothing grand. It was merely soup, yet it held a depth that surpassed my expectations. There had been a stretch where the kitchen felt more like a distant memory than a place of creation. Fatigue wrapped around me, making the thought of preparing a meal seem like an insurmountable task, and often the mere idea of food slipped away into the background. "Thank you, Ben," I murmured, my voice wavering with emotion. I found myself at a loss for words. He nodded, his smile lingering, yet a weight of seriousness had settled in. "It seems you've been holding back a bit recently. If you ever find yourself in need of a listening ear or simply some companionship, feel free to reach out any time. We share a close connection, don't we?" With that, he pivoted and strolled off, leaving me in the doorway clutching the bag of soup. My heart brimmed with feelings, a whirlwind of emotions dancing within me, a mix of appreciation, unexpectedness, and a touch of embarrassment. How had I allowed myself to become so withdrawn, so alone? Though surrounded by my family and friends, I found myself drifting away from them. Ben's simple gesture opened my eyes to the distance I had created from all that truly mattered. I stepped inside and settled at the table, cradling the bag of soup in my hands. It was hard to tell whether it was the warmth of the soup or the surprise of kindness that enveloped me, but in that moment the chill of the world faded away. His words lingered in my mind, a gentle reminder of the moments I had overlooked, the way he saw me when I was lost in my own world. How frequently do we navigate through our daily existence so immersed in our own challenges that we overlook the individuals surrounding us? It dawned on me that I had overlooked a wealth of experiences. Perhaps it was the moment for me to begin observing, truly observing the world anew. And so I started to ponder. As the days passed, Ben occupied my thoughts increasingly. He had unlocked a part of me, a part I hadn't even realized was hidden away. It was more than just the soup. It was the moment when someone saw me extending a hand without any preconceived notions or demands. A small door seemed to creak open, revealing a moment where solitude faded and companionship stepped in for the first time in ages. Yet I had no idea that this was merely the start of an incredible journey. Ben's unexpected assistance opened doors to possibilities I had never envisioned, transforming everything for us in ways I couldn't have foreseen. Following Ben's visit, everything felt transformed. I wouldn't claim that my healing happened all at once, quite the opposite. Yet a change occurred. The weight in my chest began to ease, and I found myself paying attention to the details I had overlooked for so long. It was more than just the soup. It was a tale of someone who paused to show compassion, to truly see. The gentle act of kindness opened my eyes to the distance I had created between myself and the vibrant world surrounding me. It brought to mind the recent chapters of my life, reflecting on the connections that faded the silent corners I had nestled into, and how I had allowed myself to fade into the shadows. After that, Ben began to weave himself more into my life. It was nothing extraordinary, merely a friendly nod from across the yard, some light conversations about the weather, or a quick exchange while I was handling the trash. Yet an unvoiced connection lingered between us, a sentiment that resonated profoundly within. It felt like a delicate thread wove between us, drawing us nearer with every moment that slipped by. On a certain evening, not long after, Ben had delivered the soup. An unexpected event unfolded. Once more, I found myself nestled in my cherished chair by the window, as the golden rays of the setting sun poured in, enveloping the room in a comforting warmth. There was a sense of improvement in my body, a subtle shift towards feeling more like myself. The weariness had eased, and the discomfort was now more bearable. My mind, however, unfolded a different narrative. It was a time of unease, brimming with inquiries that eluded my understanding. It was then that I heard the knock once more. This time I felt no surprise. Honestly, it was something I had anticipated. The notion that someone took the time to reach out was like a beacon of hope amidst the swirling tides of doubt. I rose to my feet carefully, straightening the creases in my well-loved sweater. and made my way to the door. Once more, there was Ben cradling a small basket of fruit, a relaxed smile gracing his features. "I thought you might appreciate something new," he said, his voice gentle yet unwavering. As I wandered through the market, I gathered a few treasures along the way. This collection holds some intriguing gems. Once upon a time there were apples, pears, and even a couple of peaches, each with their own tale to tell. As I accepted the basket from him, I felt a wave of gratitude wash over me, touched once more by his generosity. "Thanks a lot, Ben. There's no need for you to keep offering me things." Ben shrugged, a modest grin playing at the edges of his lips. "I understand, but it's something I wish to pursue. I'm perfectly fine with that. It seems you've been a bit reserved recently. I thought you could use a little lift today." I nodded, caught in a moment of silence, unsure of how to respond. His words wrapped around me like a warm blanket, a gentle embrace that chased away the shadows of solitude, making me feel seen and heard. As I stood there with the basket of fruit in my hands, I noticed a shift in Ben's expression. His gaze deepened with intensity, and his stance became noticeably more tense. "Martha," he started, his voice now softer. "I hope you don't mind me asking, but are you doing all right? Seriously." The inquiry took me by surprise. I had devoted countless hours to concealing a dull exterior, acting as if all was well. It dawned on me just how long I had been steering clear of confronting the reality, not only regarding my well-being, but also about who I truly am. Ben was the first person in ages to meet my gaze and genuinely inquire if I was all right. In that moment, doubt crept in, leaving me at a loss for words. The reality seemed like a tangled web waiting to be explored. Rather than responding immediately, I welcomed him inside. "Would you like to take a moment to relax together?" As I prepare a warm cup of tea, I can almost hear the whispers of tales waiting to be shared, each sip a new chapter unfolding. Ben nodded and stepped inside, and for a fleeting moment we found ourselves as two souls inhabiting a serene, everyday realm. As I filled the kettle and placed it on the stove, the comforting ritual wrapped around me, anchoring me in the present. As the water warmed, we gathered in the cozy kitchen, our chatter drifting to cheerful subjects, updates from the neighborhood, the day's weather, our familiar banter. Yet the gravity of his question lingered in the atmosphere, subtly present, eager for a response. At last, after a moment of reflection, I found my voice. "I'm not sure," I replied, my voice quieter than I had meant it to be. "It seems I've been facing challenges that I haven't fully acknowledged even within my own thoughts. It's more than just the tangible things. It's the whole tale, the solitude, the sensation of gradually becoming a mere shadow in the scene. I had no idea how long I had been steering clear of confronting the realities of my life, and it's challenging to share." Ben remained silent, allowing the moment to unfold. He remained seated, absorbing the words, a contemplative look on his face. He appeared to be at ease, not casting any judgment, and the quiet between us felt natural. He seemed to embody the essence of presence, a quiet witness to the unfolding moments around him. That moment in its essence was like receiving a precious treasure. "You don't have to face this by yourself, Martha," Ben said softly, breaking the silence that hung between them. "I understand that it can be quite challenging. I understand that clearly. Yet there are moments when sharing even the smallest piece can change everything. There's no need for masks or facades. Once upon a time I arrived." His words, straightforward and sincere, wrapped around me like a comforting embrace. I was unaware of the depth of my longing for that affirmation, for the comfort of knowing that someone truly cared enough to voice it openly. There's an undeniable strength in the experience of being recognized, genuinely recognized, in a manner that delves deeper than appearances. Ben had taken that step for me. He had glimpsed the facets of my being that I had concealed even from my own awareness, and he had extended compassion without any demands. The air was thick with a silence that spoke volumes, brimming with feelings left unsaid. Words eluded me as I navigated my emotions, yet there was a sense of understanding that transcended the need for them. Ben's silent demeanor conveyed a wealth of unspoken narratives. There was no need for haste. We could simply embrace that moment, free from the weight of expectations. And that's when it dawned on me that he was extending more than just a helping hand. He was inviting me to embark on a journey to unearth a piece of my essence that had been hidden away for far too long. A flicker ignited within me, a feeling long dormant, a whisper of potential waiting to unfold. A simple act of kindness began to unfold into a journey revealing layers of depth and significance along the way. It was more than just Ben lending a hand with soup or fruit. It was in the manner he had unlocked a barrier I hadn't even known existed. Yet despite the depths I had shared with him, the path ahead remained uncertain. What I realized was that a transformation had taken place within me, and as it happened within Ben as well. And that transformation was just the start of a captivating journey. The days that followed our last chat were strangely serene, as if a gentle connection had woven itself between Ben and me. Our conversations unfolded gradually, revealing layers over time. In truth, our conversation barely touched on any particular subject. Yet I sensed a transformation unfolding, a delicate yet unmistakable alteration in the atmosphere surrounding us. I discovered a growing excitement for our shared moments that surpassed my expectations. Uncertainty lingered in my mind. Was it merely gratitude for his kindness, or was something deeper starting to blossom? Each encounter with him sent a flutter through my heart, quickening its rhythm just a bit more. It wasn't love, at least, not yet, but it was something more, a budding connection, a bond that stirred both warmth and unease. There were moments when I found myself gazing at him, pondering the tales hidden behind those gentle eyes and those serene, contemplative actions. As the sun dipped below the horizon, a moment unfolded that would linger in memory. As the sun blazed overhead, I found myself immersed in my garden, nurturing the flowers that struggled against the relentless summer heat. The sensation of being outdoors washed over me, the crisp air invigorating my spirit as I immersed my hands in the earth. For years I have cherished the simple pleasure of tending to my garden, a delightful pastime that has brought me joy. As the sun dipped below the horizon and I brushed the sweat from my forehead, an urge stirred within me to see how Ben was doing. It was a peculiar sensation unlike anything I had experienced previously. There was nothing I truly required, not at all. Yet his presence lingered, weaving through the corners of my thoughts. I cleaned my hands with a rag and made my way to his house, just a short stroll down the street. As I stood before his door, uncertainty swirled within me about what I truly desired in that moment. Perhaps just a casual chat, a warm dialogue reminiscent of our past exchanges. Yet the moment he swung the door wide, I sensed an unmistakable change in the air. His gaze held a deeper shade, and his smile wavered with uncertainty. "Martha," he remarked, a trace of astonishment coloring his tone. "Hello, how's it going?" As the thought crossed my mind, I found myself blurting it out, a hint of embarrassment creeping in at the way it came out. "I wanted to see how you're doing, discover the journey you've embarked on." Ben took a step back, offering me entry with a gentle motion. "I'm doing well, just busy with a few projects around the house," he said, guiding me into the living room. Yet there was a palpable tension in his words, an unmistakable edge to his tone that captured my attention. We gathered around sharing light banter about our neighbors, the weather, and the familiar topics that often fill the air. Yet the atmosphere surrounding us had transformed electric with unspoken words, a query lingering just beyond our grasp. At last, breaking the stillness, Ben leaned in his intense gaze, locking onto mine, probing and profound. "Martha," he murmured softly, "there's something I must share with you, something that's been weighing on my thoughts for quite some time. My heart raced with excitement. His unexpected change in attitude took me by surprise. This was not the familiar laid-back Ben I had come to know. This was an individual with a significant message to share. I've been reflecting on our journey, on the moments we've shared. He continued, his voice unwavering, yet imbued with a deep passion, and I can't shake the feeling that there's a deeper connection between us. Though our time together has been brief, I feel compelled to acknowledge the connection that is unfolding between us. It feels like there's a deeper bond between us, something that transcends mere assistance. I found myself momentarily paralyzed, caught in the stillness of the moment. His words struck deep, leaving an impact that was surprisingly profound. It felt as if revelations were breaking free, and in that moment, all the chaotic thoughts in my head aligned perfectly. My heart raced, thoughts tangled, uncertain of the path ahead. Ben was sharing everything, and now it was my turn to figure out how to react. Never in my wildest dreams did I foresee this. I murmured, my voice scarcely rising above a whisper. Honestly, this wasn't something I had in mind at all. I've experienced a myriad of events. I'm not sure if I'm prepared to share my experiences in that way. Ben nodded, a gentle warmth spreading across his face. I hear you, Martha. At this moment, I have no requests to make. I simply wanted to share my feelings with you. I want you to understand that this is something meaningful and lasting. Martha, my feelings for you have grown deeper than I ever anticipated. Perhaps there's a part of you that resonates with this, even if you haven't fully acknowledged it yet. His words washed over me like a powerful tide. It was a truth I had sensed all along, but when he voiced it, it transformed into something palpable, something I could truly grasp. I was uncertain about my emotions, not quite sure how to define them. Yet I sensed a flicker within me of feeling that had long been dormant. Perhaps it was merely the profound experience of being acknowledged, of truly being grasped. Or perhaps it was something deeper, a bond that transcended mere visits or thoughtful acts. Text. I find myself at a loss for words, I confessed, my voice quivering with uncertainty. It's hard to believe I've found myself here, given all that has unfolded. Yet my feelings for you run deep, Ben. I certainly do. A moment stretched on, filled with silence. Ben remained still silent for a few moments, allowing my words to resonate in the air, and then gradually he extended his hand and grasped mine, his fingers radiating warmth and steadiness. With a gentle tone he expressed, I don't seek anything in return. Just know that my presence is with you. No matter where this journey leads, I'm by your side. You're not alone in this journey anymore. And in that moment, a transformation stirred within me. It wasn't love, not yet, but it marked the start of an extraordinary journey, something profound that I had never envisioned before. After what seemed like an eternity, a spark of hope ignited within me. Ben's presence had opened a hidden chamber within me, one I had never realized was sealed off. It was more than merely his assistance. It was in the way he looked at me, the way he ignited a spark within, making me feel significant once more. In that serene moment, with our hands intertwined in the stillness of his living room, it dawned on me that solitude had faded away, and even more significantly, I found myself unburdened by fear of what lay ahead. The days that came after our talk were imbued with a subtle yet undeniable shift. Ben and I found ourselves spending more time together, not merely assisting each other with the usual tasks, but engaging in conversations, exchanging experiences, and discovering more about one another. It was as if a fresh narrative was beginning, revealing a plot twist I never saw coming. With each encounter, the bond between us deepened, and I found myself at ease in his company. It had evolved beyond merely seeking his assistance. It revolved around him, around the gradual connection we were nurturing together. Our first date unfolded in a simple yet memorable way, lacking any grand gestures. Once upon a time there was a quaint little bistro just down the road, a familiar haven, where I often sought solace over a quiet meal. Ben was determined to whip up a meal for me, yet I gently resisted proposing we venture out for a refreshing change of pace. He nodded in agreement, yet there was a glimmer of satisfaction in his eyes, as if my choice had delighted him. As we sat facing each other at the small table, a warm familiarity enveloped us, a feeling that arises only when two souls genuinely connect. Silence spoke volumes in that moment. The moments of joy we experienced, the soft looks exchanged, and the silent connection seemed to say it all. As the evening unfolded, memories flooded my mind, reflecting on the journey that led us to this moment. It was astonishing how everything had changed, all because of a single unexpected gesture of goodwill. What I had once seen as merely a neighbor gradually transformed into someone who held a significance in my life that I never anticipated. After dinner, we strolled under the stars, the cool evening air embracing us gently, creating a cozy atmosphere. In the stillness of the city, the streets whispered secrets, with the soft murmur of traffic lingering like a gentle memory. We shared a quiet presence, savoring the moment together, yet there was an unspoken magic in the atmosphere that hinted at something more. It carried a heaviness brimming with potential. "I'm glad we're embarking on this journey," Ben said, shattering the cozy stillness. His voice carried a gentle warmth filled with genuine emotion. Though our time together has been brief, it seems we are weaving a genuine connection. A warm smile spread across my face, my heart brimming with feelings. It wasn't merely the words. It was the manner in which he expressed them, the sincerity in his voice. His words carried weight. They were not mere sounds to break the quiet, but heartfelt expressions of his true feelings. Text. I share that sentiment. I replied, my tone softer than normal. What a surprise this all is. Yet as it unfolds, I find myself realizing that it's precisely what I was searching for all along. I've been wrapped up in my own anxieties and past mistakes, but you've illuminated a path beyond that, revealing that there's still a world full of joy, connection, and the chance to embrace openness once more. Ben paused in his stride, pivoting to look at me. As his hand moved closer, it softly swept a wayward strand of hair from my face, his touch imbued with warmth and comfort. Martha, there's no need for fear any longer. No matter what unfolds, we'll navigate it side by side. I'm present, and I'm staying put. In that moment, a wave of tranquility washed over me. It may not have been the epic romance I envisioned in my younger days, but it held a genuine essence. It was sincere. It was a bond, a profound link created in the stillness of the moments that held significance. The following months unfolded in a whirlwind of fresh encounters, countless strolls, engaging dialogues, and profound moments of connection. Our connection deepened, fortified by the faith we had nurtured in one another. In the quiet moments, a bond began to blossom, subtle and unforced, like the gentle rhythm of a heartbeat. It began to dawn on me that there was something significant to uncover. Love often unfolds in the quiet moments and the simple acts that weave our lives together. In life, it's often the little moments that matter, the way a person truly pays attention, how they make you feel valued and acknowledged, and the support they offer when you find yourself in need. Ben had surprised me in ways I never anticipated. His unwavering patience, gentle kindness, and steadfast strength guided me through a journey of healing that I once believed was beyond reach. One evening, as we gathered in the cozy living room of his home, enjoying our drinks and gazing at the sunset through the window, I felt an undeniable sense of belonging in that moment. The time for questions had passed, and the uncertainty of reality faded away. It truly happened. It was unfolding. It was a quiet realization, a whisper that escaped my lips, as if I were sharing a secret with the universe. Ben beamed, his eyes sparkling with warmth. I understand. I didn't either. Yet there are moments when life leads us down unexpected paths, guiding us to the very places we are meant to find ourselves. And in that moment, I understood that Ben's surprising assistance had transformed everything. It opened my eyes to a fresh outlook on existence, fostering a deeper gratitude for the calm, enduring bonds that genuinely count. My healing wasn't solely due to him. My healing came from the bond we forged standing by one another in both the little instances and the significant events. As I gazed at him perched next to me, a singular truth resonated within me. Life was woven from the small, intimate moments. It was about those individuals who consistently stand by your side, guiding you on a journey of self-discovery time and time again. And in Ben, I had discovered that character. There remained a lot to unravel yet for the first time in ages. A sense of readiness washed over me, prepared to embrace the journey ahead with the comforting realization that I had company by my side. And in that moment it dawned on me that this was everything I had ever truly sought.